So Eternal MMA is back this weekend. We have Eternal MMA 82 on, and this is actually a banger card. Did lose some fights I was really excited for. Anthony Trilich isn't fighting now, who's a prospect I'm pretty high on, and Caleb Ryder versus Alden Bates isn't happening now, but it's still a pretty good card. So I'm just going to break down the main card of this. So starting off with the first fight, we have Khan Diata versus John Han Lee. Now this is a really interesting fight. Sorry, I'm a bit sick at the moment, guys, if you can't tell. Sorry, I'll try not to be like I'm lounging around. But I'm going to go with Khan Diata here. I know his 1-3 record doesn't look the prettiest, but he's actually a Muay Thai world champion. I believe he's got a bunch of credentials in Muay Thai. And his opponent, all of his opponent's losses are by KO, so I can see Khan Diata maybe getting this one done by KO. Well, not all of his. Actually, I don't think all of his losses are by KO. Let me double check that. Okay, 2 of his losses are by KO. But Khan Diata, he's a pretty good fighter. Like, he's a good striker. Obviously, 1-3, not the greatest record. But one of those fights he arguably could have won, and then the other ones he did get finished in. But he's a very scrappy fighter, and this should just be a fun scrap. Back and forth. So I'm going with Killer Khan Diata. I don't even think that's his name, is it? I think I just got him confused with Khan Oxley. Doesn't even know his nickname. But yeah, I'm gonna go Khan Diata here. Then we have Wes Kappa versus Song Chan Hun. This one's interesting. All of Hong's losses are by KO, and he does have a very good record. There's a 1 age gap between them. These guys are both older guys, 35 and 34 years old. But the way I have this fight going, most people do have Hong winning this fight. But I'm actually going to take Wes Kappa. I believe in Wes Kappa. Wes Kappa is a world champion in Muay Thai. I think he's even boxed some pretty big names and stuff like that. He's got a very extensive boxing record. Now maybe he gets in there and he just grapple fuck, but he has shown some really good takedown defense from what I've seen. He had a whole first round where it was just all defensive wrestling, and he looked pretty decent for a newcomer to MMA. I mean, he has fought 10, 12 years ago in MMA, but he's only recently returned to MMA after kickboxing, Muay Thai, and doing a shit ton of boxing. And he's just deadly. He's a deadly fighter to watch. I wish he was a bit younger, because I would love to see this guy in the UFC or something like that. But obviously, he's already 35 years old, so he sort of needs to get a run on things if that's going to be the case. But I am going to take Wes Kappa here. I think he can get a KO here over Sung Chong Hong. Then moving on, we have Julian Gianastasino versus Chris Chanovsky. I highly apologize, mate. I can't pronounce Chris's name. We're just going to call him Chris, because I don't want to offend him, because I really can't pronounce his name right now. But I'm going to go with Julian. Now he's really going to fucking hate me. But I'm going with Julian. I think he can wrestle his way to victory here. He's a very, very good wrestler. Julian's I think he's wrestling credentials or something like that, really high ranking credentials in wrestling. He's a very good wrestler. Sometimes he doesn't do too much damage, but he is very good at getting positions, and then I think he's going to work on his damage and going for submissions and stuff like that. And I think he's going to win this fight. He did impress me in his last fight. Very good wrestling. Then we have Toby Meach versus Daniel Mitchell. I'm going to take Toby Meach here. I like Daniel Mitchell a lot. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's very scrappy, but I don't know. I think Toby Meach is just a bit too experienced at this point. I feel like this is a weird fight, because Daniel Mitchell's also booked for the next Eternal card against on paper an easier opponent, a guy with a less record. It would have made sense if that fight was first, but he's just getting thrown in there with a 5-2 opponent. It is a bit odd in my opinion, but I am going to take Toby Meach. I think Toby Meach can win this. Daniel Mitchell's very scrappy though, so he has a very good shot of winning this fight. I really could see a scenario where Daniel Mitchell just makes this a very scrappy back and forth fight. But Toby Meach, just very experienced, a veteran. He's been in there with guys like Justin Van Heerden, who's he's the featherweight champion right now, and he's a very good fighter. So I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with Toby Meach, just based on experience, veteran experience. I feel like this might be a step too soon for Daniel Mitchell. But if he wins, Jesus, let's get that guy up there. Then we have Courtney Martin versus Amina Hadaya. Hadaya comes out of freestyle and MMA. She's a very good fighter. She's 3-2, but those 2 losses One of really good prospects. And she is like a very good fighter. She's very good grappling. And Courtney Martin, 0-2, but against good fighters. She actually fought Sage Northcutt's sister. So I think I'm going to take this fight. I think I'm going to go Amina Hadea here. And I'm going to say by submission. I think she's just got a very strong grappling game from what I've seen. Yeah, I think she can win this with the grappling. I think Hadea is going to get this one done. And I'm going to go by decision, submission, sorry. And then obviously Drilich's fights off. Alden Bates versus Caleb Rideout's off. Then we go to Rod Costa versus Alan Philpott. This is a really good fight. This one's got some beef to it. And if you know me, I love me some drama. Some drama's always good when it comes to the fight game, especially like these two really fucking hate each other. These guys are two guys who just talk a lot of trash. Alan Philpott especially, seems like fucking every guy hates this guy. Every guy that fights Alan Philpott does not like fucking Alan Philpott. So he's really good at getting under people's skin, which is very evident. Just go look at this guy's comments or look at any posts where this guy's commenting on it. He's always beefing with fucking somebody. But I'm going to take Rod Costa here. I think his style is very good for a fight against Philpott. Philpott's been subbed so many times. Like, his Achilles heel is getting subbed. He's going against a guy with legitimate jiu-jitsu credentials in Rod Costa. I think Rod Costa is going to go in there. I think he's going to get him out of there. I think he's going to wrestle him. I think he's going to get his back at one point. And once he gets his back, I think he's going to lock in a rear naked. I think he's going to sub Alan Philpott. Then we have the main event. We have Quillan Saukield going in there against the Street Buddha, Domar Fan, in a rematch. The first fight, Quillan Saukield sort of just dominated him. And, you know, Domar Fan has improved, but I actually generally do think Quillan Saukield's improved even more since they last fought. So I'm going to actually take Quillan Saukield, but this time I think he's going to knock out Domar Fan on the feet. I think it's going to be early. I might go late first, early second round, but I am going to take Quillan Saukield here. And yeah, I think he's going to win this fight by knockout. He's really good, man. He's really good cardio. I feel like he's got the better cardio here than Domar Fan. So if this fight gets extended, I like this fight even more for Quillan Saukield now that it's a 5-rounder. Like, it's just, this fight, everywhere this fight goes is just a benefit to Quillan Saukield. Like, no disrespect to Domar Fan. I think he's a very good fighter in his own right. But I just think at this point in time, Quillan Saukield is just on a different level. And I think he's going to show it in this fight. And yeah, I think he's going to get a KO here. But, you know, Domar Fan could prove me wrong. But from what I've seen in the first time they fought and their fight since, I just think Quillan Saukield's just on a bit of a different trajectory at the moment. But, you know, Domar Fan could definitely prove me wrong. So we'll have to find out and see. But I like Quillan Saukield to get this one done. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for my predictions, guys. Like I said, I'm feeling really shitty at the moment. This is why my first video of the day was so late. But yeah, I just had to gun this out. I know it's not UFC or anything related, but I did want to do a predictions for this because I'm like the only person who does Australian MMA predictions. So I just had to do this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I sort of sped through that a little bit, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Peace be upon you. Goodbye.